We are now in the bus depot chapter
that breeze, huh?
of The Last of Us Part 1,
like
and as far
as
as collectibles go, this is the last chapter you really have to focus on collectibles. There is really only about 6 or 7 after this chapter in the Firefly lab and 1 in the epilogue. Here is your first optional conversation. Half the optional conversations with Ellie in this chapter are kind of a little distant, and then some really beautiful moments are going to happen. After that optional conversation, head into this trailer to get a picture of a family here. And while we're looking at that, I'll tell you, altogether, this chapter has 2 sections: highway exit and underground tunnel.
Oh, yeah?
And altogether, there's 4 artifacts, 3 pendants, 2 comics, 1 training manual, 2 workbenches, a workbench tool, a Shiv Door, and 6 optional conversations. Here's the second optional conversation, all about Ellie's dream, about flying.
And right before we crash, I wake up. I've never been on a plane. Isn't that weird?
Well, you know, dreams are weird.
Then head all the way down this hill and walk around the school bus there on the left, and we'll find our next collectible, the Firefly Pendant. Then we're going to head inside the actual bus depot. I believe that's what it is. Right there across the street in that corner there. Logan James bus station.
Maybe we cut through here, huh?
Lots of crafting items in here. There's a ladder up there that we're going to have to try to get Ellie to hand down to us. And there is an artifact here. Note to wife.
We didn't have a clue.
Ellie's going to sit down on one of the benches here, and we're going to be able to have another optional conversation with her.
You just kind of seem extra quiet today.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Come on, hurry up.
We're coming up on one of the pretty much most iconic scenes from this game.
You see this?
And because you have to hit triangle, we do
What are you doing?
take this as an optional conversation here.
Come here. Hurry up. Come on.
Hey there. So fucking cool. Oh, where's it off to? Here, come on, let's go.
Slow down, kiddo.
Can't wait to see what they do on the HBO series with this scene here.
Hurry up, come on, come on.
Follow her up the stairs and out into the, I guess, the rooftop for the next optional conversation.
Oh, man.
And you can hang out for as long as you want. I grabbed the title card from this scene here, just kind of letting it happen. You need to be on her left in order to be able to finish the conversation, because it does start a cutscene.
So, Is everything you were hoping for?
It's got its ups and downs, but you can't deny the view, though.
Following that scene, you're gonna hang out on the rooftop there for a second, and then there'll be another cutscene where Joel will have a heart-to-heart with Ellie. Then you're gonna walk, I think, down the stairs or something into this area. Just make sure that you go into the bathroom to pick up this comic. I almost missed it. And then there's like a maze of broken down walls here at the other end of this room. Then you're gonna come out to all these tents. There's a couple really important collectibles. Your final workbench tool is right here. That's going to give you the sharpest tool in the shed trophy. Now, I have heard from multiple sources that if you do not collect all 5 of the workbench tools in one consistent playthrough, you will not be able to get that trophy by going through chapter select. So please follow along with these collectible guides. Make sure that you get all 5 workbench tools. Plus, they're also really handy to have. It's fun to upgrade your weapons and get more use out of them. Hanging off of that light was the Firefly pendant that we had to shoot down. There's still a couple more items to collect in some of these tents. I almost didn't capture with most of these collectible guides. I try to get all the collectibles first, and then I go around again and get all the parts and the crafting items and stuff. In this tent, we have an artifact and our second to last workbench. Artifact 78 there, which is the map, and then workbench number 10 is right here on our left. As I said, this is the second to last workbench. If you have not already, make sure to upgrade at least one weapon all the way. I suggest the revolver. It's the easiest one to fully upgrade. Before we head into this bus, Ellie is going to have a conversation with us and hand us
Maria showed this to me, and
the picture of Joel and Sarah that Tommy tried to give Joel earlier. We did see this picture in Ellie's bag in the Lakeside Resort chapter, and now has been handed back to Joel, and he keeps it. And not only are those the last 2 collectibles of the highway exit,
I guess you can't escape your past.
First half subchapter of the bus depot, that conversation, optional conversation number 40, is the final optional conversation in the game, in the main game. There are 14 additional optional conversations that Ellie and Riley will have together in the Left Behind portion of the game. Originally a DLC and then released as a standalone game, and now it is a second portion of The Last of Us Part 1 that you can play first before you play the main game, or you can play it after, but you do need to play it in order to get the last 14 optional conversations, the last set of jokes, and the last 14 artifacts.
We killed him.
So we're going to go into the underground tunnel here. We picked up our Firefly pendant that was behind another bus, and now we took all of the creatures out before picking this up. There was a bunch of bloaters, there was clickers, all sorts of stuff, and on top of this truck, about midway through this area, is the final training manual, which will give you something to fight for.
All right, just stick to the edge. It's shallow over there.
Find a way for Ellie to make it up the ladder. and you're gonna go down this, what looks like an HVAC ventilation tunnel, and there is comic number 12. Getting very close to rounding out those comics. And the next item we're getting to is the final workbench. And we're gonna take a look at that. Looks like the capture froze, but I think I was just standing there. So there is Ellie's gonna go into this area. There's going to be a clicker that you're gonna have to help her fight off. I just kind of blew my shotgun at it through the fence. She ends up unharmed, so just fire at it. Should be fine. And this is the final workbench, as I mentioned. If you have not already, fully upgrade at least one weapon. And here's the trophy for getting the last workbench. Prepare for the worst. Here is the last collectible in this chapter. The second to last Shiv Door of the game. I believe that's true. Let me check my notes here. But as I mentioned before, yes, one more Shiv Door. You definitely want to make sure that you use that workbench and fully upgrade one weapon. Thankfully, you only need to upgrade one weapon. I get a bunch of parts here, so I head back to the workbench just to give you an idea of where I was coming from. The revolver requires the least amount of parts, and the revolver and the 9mm pistol require the least amount of workbench tools, and you get them both fairly early in the game, so you can do that. Hope that helps. Take care.